What's up, Knights? Xantos here with my third instructional video on Knighthood. Today we're going to be discussing weapons, different weapon rarities, and weapon charms. I've seen a lot of people on the page asking the classic question, is this good? And I've seen it asked so many times. I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on what I think the best builds are for weapons, what the best charms are for you to use. And yeah, I've also figured out how to add myself into my videos too, to add a little bit more of a personal vibe and say hi to you Knights out there. So I hope you enjoy that. And without further ado, let's get started on this video. Okay, so like armor, there are 5 rarities of weapons too. You have common, rare, epic, legendary, and unique. Common weapons can't hold any charm slots, making them the least desirable choice among weapons. And don't be fooled, higher level players, into thinking that the level 46 common weapons that are for sale in the Realm of Fire shops is a good choice. The lack of charm slots will be detrimental towards your progression, and it'll put a huge dent in your gold earnings. So just take note of that. A rare weapon or higher rarity is always your go-to choice. The ability to implement even a single charm into your weapon can boost your damage output and grant you with buffs, or even inflict status ailments onto your enemies. More advice that I have to Knights out there too is to know your enemy. All monsters that you battle can be viewed on a prepare tab, and they show what they are vulnerable to and also what they are resistant to. And this is useful knowledge to have so that you don't go putting in acid or stun charms into your undead weapons. Instead, you can focus burn or freeze charms. Knowing your enemy's strengths and weaknesses is key to understanding how to strategize and attack. Alright, now we're going to be getting into the 5 weapon charm slot categories. We have effect charms, aka square charms, damage charms, aka diamond charms, debuff charms, also known as circle charms, buff charms, aka play button charms, and crit charms, aka crit charms. We all call them crit charms. We love our crit charms. That's what they're called. So starting things off, we have the effect charm, or square charm. This charm gives the ability to inflict burn, acid, or poison on chain attacks, or side attacks, depending on the type of charm that you get. Gold charms have a 25% chance of infliction, purple with 20%, blue 15%, green with 10%, and gray with only 5%. These are very useful charms when focusing what the monster is weak against. I currently use a 15% burn chance on chain attacks in my undead weapon, and I love it when I'm focusing a monster and that extra status ailment pops up on them. The square charm is a well-paired charm with our next on the list as well, damage charms, or diamond charms. Gold can boost attack damage by 50% or ultimate attack damage by a whopping 150%. Purple boosts damage by 40% and ultimate by 120%. Blue with a 30% boost in damage and a 90% boost in ultimate. Green with 20 and 60% on ultimate, and gray with a 10% boost and 30% on ultimate. Damage charms are one of my personal favorite charm slots due to their ability to boost your damage so much. I know from experience. My cult weapon has a 180% boost to its ultimate attack versus enemies afflicted with poison, and I feel it. Once an enemy is poisoned for me, I launch that 4th final big hit, and it's normally good night for them. Hypothetically too, a gold weapon with 4 diamond slots, all slotted with gold charms that boost ultimate attack damage, could boost damage by 600%. 600%. That is a huge number. Keep this in mind when making builds, because this charm is definitely one to look out for. Alright, now we've made it to our 3rd weapon charm on the list, the debuff charm, or circle charm. This charm has the ability to weaken, expose, unfocus, stun, or freeze, but only when landing an ultimate attack. Gold charms have a 50% chance of infliction, purple with a 40%, blue 30%, green 20%, and gray with only 10%. On my personal list of weapon charms, the debuffed circle charm takes last place due to its ability to only come into play during one turn of your combo, your last move. It's a charm that can still be very useful, but there's a level of chance accompanied with it. You never know if your last hit is in fact going to inflict the status ailment, and therefore I've been more reluctant building combos surrounding this charm. However, I currently have a blue charm, 30% chance to inflict weaken, equipped into my undead weapon, and when fighting Rahab or other undead enemies, I do occasionally notice the broken sword appear above their head and a reduction in their damage. It's just not something I rely on too much while fighting. Alright, fourth on our list, we're going to be discussing buff charms, or play button charms. These charms can grant you the buffs Fury, Focus, Regenerate, and Protect on chain start attacks. And because of their ability to buff at the start of a combo, I've implemented these charms into my strategies much more. And also, there's a trick that can be used with these charms as well. Gold play buttons give you a 50% chance to buff on chain start, purple with 40%, blue 30%, green 20%, and gray with 10. But, because of their ability to grant the buff at the start of a combo, you could potentially stop the chain of attacks at the very start of a combo if the buff wasn't received, and try another 3 times until you've received the buff you were looking for. In my weapons, I personally prefer Fury chance on chain start, due to the fact that I have Titania already who has Regenerate and Focus on her base power, and Protect on her rage for 3 turns. Therefore, having a weapon that's capable of buffing my character with Fury is very useful for maximizing damage output. However, one thing to keep in mind with this charm slot is that the buff will only last for 2 turns, counting the turn it was received as well. Keep this in mind when focusing combos based around this charm, but don't let it hold you back. Alright, last but definitely not least on our list, we have the remarkable critical charm. This is my favorite charm slot of all weapon charms. It has the ability to increase critical chance on side attacks, increase critical chance on chain attacks, increase critical chance on ultimate, as well as increase critical damage multiplier on side attacks, increase critical damage on chain, or increase critical damage on ultimate. Because of this, this charm is really able to boost your damage output, or your chances of landing those juicy critical hits. And also, it's always in play. Whenever you land a critical hit, be it at the start of a combo, midway, or at the end, this charm can come into play for you. And because of this, it gets my #1 spot of awesome charms to get in your weapons. I use a 60% damage boost in critical on chain attacks in my undead weapon, and I love smashing on enemies and seeing those chain attack damage numbers. I'd personally love to build a weapon with 4 critical slots just to see the kind of damage output capable with 4 big boosts. And again, hypothetically, with 4 gold ultimate attack damage boosts, this is another charm slot capable of giving you a 600% boost in a single area. And anything capable of boosting you that much should undoubtedly take focus. Alright Knights, that wraps things up for today. I hope you enjoyed the weapon guide. I've really been enjoying the process of making these videos. I'm consistently trying to improve and get better, so if you want to support the page and like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. A lot of work goes into these videos, and I'm going to keep doing them. I'm really enjoying it. I'm currently actually sitting on a whole bunch of chess, and I've just figured out how to live stream from my phone. So I'm considering maybe this Friday doing my first ever Knighthood live stream and opening up all these chests and running the onslaught, just facing some roaming monsters, seeing what we can do. And I'd love for you guys to tune in, so like and subscribe to the page, and you'll get notifications for that when I go live. And yeah, again, thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. And good luck, Knights. Stay grinding out there. See you later.